Hello, my friends. It is Mindy today, and I am curious if you've ever experienced self-doubt. I think probably because there's not really a human on this planet who hasn't experienced some sort of self-doubt. And that's what we're going to talk about today because for me, I know that this has been a huge part of my life. I am an extraordinarily confident woman. I come off very confident, and yet through my whole life, I have dealt with self-doubt. Okay. It's something that every person has to deal with at some point or another. We question whether or not we're good enough. We question whether or not our actions are going to have the impact that we want them to have. If somebody's going to judge us or think we're weird if we do what we think we want to do or say what we want to say. Self-doubt silently kills our energy, our vitality. If we don't get a hold of it, it will totally burn you out. You're going to feel exhausted and out of control all the time and wondering whether or not, like, what's the point? What's the purpose of you being here? If you're always doubting yourself, you're always going to be second guessing. You're not going to feel clear. You're not going to feel confident. You're not going to feel like you can make the right decision ever. And that's definitely not a place where you're feeling empowered, vital, strong, confident. So we want to talk about today, how do we deal with this? From a spiritual perspective, what do we do about self-doubt? You know, there's lots of techniques available out there. If you search up how to deal with self-doubt, I'm sure you can come up with 100 different things. But we are going to look at it today from the spiritual perspective of a woman or a man who is living their lives, waking up to the fact that there is something more than just this body and this mind. There's something watching the mind. There's something directing the mind. There's something directing the heart. And there's something directing this whole universe. And I don't really care what the words are that you use. I use divine a lot, God, source, universe. It's all the same energy. The same energy has lots of names, and that's okay. And so one of the things we're going to talk about is really, let's get down to the nuts and bolts of it. Because I don't want you to have to deal with this self-doubt forever anymore, okay? This is something that you can handle right now and that you can actually overcome right now. Now, I will also give you an awareness that it is a practice. So even if you deal with your self-doubt once, it's not a once and done kind of thing. It's a every time you look at it and you approach it and you acknowledge it, it gets easier and easier to move through the self-doubt. Okay, so this isn't a process of do it once and you're done with self-doubt. This is a process of getting better and better at recognizing self-doubt, handling it in the moment or soon after the moment, and being able to move forward with the confidence and the clarity and the verve that you want to move through your life with. Okay, so like I said, this is something that I have dealt with. It's this shadowy thing that you know it's there and you don't know it's there. You know that it's plaguing you with low vibes, but you don't really know necessarily how to handle it, okay? Oh, I have a little sneeze in my nose, excuse me. We'll see if that goes away. And at the end of the video, I also want to share with you some crystals that you can use on this path of dealing with your self-doubt. If this is something that you're working with regularly, I'm going to give you several different crystals, just like a taster of them. And then on Wednesday, tomorrow, we're going to do a live class on Instagram at Mindy Arbuckle, and it's going to go through each of the crystals more in depth, and you'll have the ability to maybe find a crystal that you'll want to take home with you, okay? So what do you do when you see self-doubt taking control of your mind and your heart and your actions? What are you going to do about it? Okay. The first step to dealing with low vibe emotions, including self-doubt, is you have to see it. Okay. You just have to see that it's there. What happens to most of us is that it's becoming a part of, it sort of feels like it's a part of your personality. It feels like a part of you that you've seen so many times, that you're so familiar with, that it's hard to pinpoint, that's what I'm dealing with. okay? So you have to identify it. Oh, there it is again. Self-doubt. Oh, you are showing up today. I feel you right here in my body. I feel you in my life. I feel you in my mind. And yes, I see you clearly. Okay. So you actually have to call it out. Just say hello to it. Like, oh my gosh, that is actually self-doubt. So instead of it controlling you from the shadows, it is giving you the opportunity. Every time it shows up, it does this. It gives you the opportunity to really call it out, to say hello, and then to acknowledge it. Okay, so acknowledging and seeing it are two different things. They seem like the same, but they are different. You first have to see it, because if you don't see it, there's no way you're ever going to acknowledge that it's there. Okay, once you acknowledge that it's there, it's giving it permission to be there. You're validating it instead of repressing it and pushing it aside and telling it it's invalid. I don't want you. You're awful. I hate this part of me. What we're going to do is acknowledge it with love. Okay, we are going to approach this. This is the secret sauce, you guys. Self-doubt, approaching it with radical self-love. Okay? Every low vibe emotion that you have, including self-doubt, is a call for love. It is a call for you to acknowledge that something is there that's been there for a while, and for you to step up your game to be able to embody your bold greatness, your divinity, and see that this is a part of you, that this is a part of your wholeness. You know, if we look at the planet or the universe, you can't have dark without light. You can't have light without dark. You can't have up without down. You have to have these opposites. And you can't say that dark is awful, because without the darkness, you get no stars. Without the darkness, you don't see the moon in its fullness. So you have to be able to acknowledge that the shadow, the darkness within you, has validity. It has meaning for you. And it's usually there to help you step up into a greater version of you, to embody this divine warrior goddess, or to be able to embody your highest self, right? So the low self is the one, the small self is the one that says, you're not good enough. They're going to judge you. They are not going to like you anymore if you start saying these things. The highest self says, oh, self-doubt. I see you. Hello. Okay, I feel you. I hear what you're saying, because in the past, this has been the way it's been. And I've got this right now. I've got this, and you can come along for the ride. You don't have to be shunned aside. You don't have to be destroyed, but you can come along for the ride, because it would be fun to have you there so that you can see something new. And so you approach your self-doubt with radical self-love. Like if your friend came to you and she or he said something to you and it was just filled with doubt, you would be reassuring. You would be kind and supportive. And so that's all we're doing here with ourselves. We are practicing radical self-love with ourselves and with our self-doubt today. All right. So I opened up an email literally this morning that said, when we show reverence to our shadow self, we come closer to our highest self. And that was from Danielle Laporte. And it's to really show that reverence, that loving respect, to acknowledge your doubt, to give it space so that it can settle down. Because really, all your self-doubt wants is for you to look at it, to see it clearly for what it is, so that it doesn't have to do all this work from the shadows anymore. I mean, it's probably just as worn out as you are. So instead of you continuing to push it away, because what we repress persists, what we resist persists, instead of doing that, just open up your eyes and your heart to it, right? Open your heart and all of your feelings are going to start to calm down. So if you have self-doubt that's flamed up by worry and fear, give all of that permission and space to be present. And that is like the most loving thing you can do for yourself. You know, if you were to radically love your doubt, what could shift for you? Think about that. What could really shift for you if you gave yourself permission to radically love all of you, including your doubt? What old limiting stories could dissolve? What tightness would loosen if you no longer had to carry this doubt around with you? What would be forgiven? What would be relaxed, diminished, celebrated? What could be more cherished? What could be more expansive if you radically loved your self-doubt? Take a moment to just ponder that and feel into it. Okay, does the self-doubt do anything good for me? Right? Like it has this, the mind and the ego are really good at tricking us into thinking that they're doing good for us when it's really just holding us back from our highest selves, from our greatest good, from our impact that we're supposed to be making. So the mind says, well, yes, you have to have this doubt. If you don't have this doubt, you will do something stupid. You will be stupid. You will be judged and hated. And I mean, like the mind will come up with a huge litany list of exaggerated stories. Do those ever come true? Okay, maybe once in 9th grade it came true. But most of the time, all of the doubts, all of the worries are there to hold us back, to keep us in our comfort zone, to keep us small. They do not let us expand into our spiritual selves. They do not let us expand into the divinity and the power that we really possess. And so when we offer love, just love, to our self-doubt, we are meeting the request of self-doubt for expansion and healing. And that, my friends, that is where the real power lies. The self-doubt will hold you back. The expansion of love will set you free. And that's what we're really here to do, is to find individual freedom so that we can find divine freedom, so that we can also set other people free. We can't set other people free, but we can be the inspiration to help other people set themselves free. And that's how this world heals. Because you know as much as I do how heavy this world feels right now, how much division there is. And we don't need that. And we don't need it coming from our own heads and our own hearts either. So when you spot dissension within you, within your self-doubt, say hello to it. Smile at that self-doubt. Oh, self-doubt. Hello. Thank you for showing up again today, because you are giving me an opportunity to expand into my loving greatness. Right? Can you feel that? There's so much power in love, not in fear. Fear diminishes and it compresses and it contracts. Love expands, opens, brightens your capacity to be the best version of you ever. And that's exactly what we do together, okay? So I want to show you a couple of crystals that can help you on this practice of radical self-love with your self-doubt, okay? So first and foremost, I'm going to offer this little beauty. This is green fluorite, okay? This green fluorite gives us the ability to merge or melt our mind down into our hearts, okay? So we can take the small self-mind and merge it down into the heart mind. And that's closer to the high mind that we want, okay? That's where our highest self lives. So we've got green fluorite. This one, if you like see this and you definitely want it, just put a comment in the box. And this one is $27 for the green fluorite, okay? I'm gonna have way more of these available for you tomorrow on Instagram at 10:30, okay? Next is rose quartz. Okay, rose quartz is going to help you with that self-love, that ability to expand into compassion and to be able to really open up to not just self-love, but also universal love. So this is a beautiful little piece of rose quartz. This one's 33. Now, citrine. I have a lot of towers for you today, apparently. Citrine is going to give you the confidence to be able to expand into your self-love, to give you the surety that self-love is the path for you, that it's not just fluffy and, I don't know, too up in the air for you, but this gives you the confidence to say, yes, my gut knows this is right for me. And my gut knows that the self-doubt is lying to me and that the self-love is the truth of me. Okay. Amazonite calms the nerves. Oh, sorry, that guy. 21 for the citrine if you want it. Okay. The Amazonite is this beautiful blue stone, kind of aqua color, and it is very calming and soothing. So if your self-doubt is brought on by high anxiety and worry, then calming energy of Amazonite is going to be the perfect stone for you. It helps you with that clear communication. And that's really what self-love is here. It's clearly communicating with your small self from your highest self. Okay. So this beautiful Amazonite cabochon is 47. And then we've got this lovely little piece of kyanite. So pretty. I don't know. It doesn't want to focus on it. But anyways, kyanite clears negative energy, and it also taps you into your intuition so that you know your truth. You can clearly see who you are and who you are meant to be and anything that holds you back from that. Okay, so that's kyanite, and this little sweet guy is just $7. Now, epidote is one of my favorites, you guys. It's this green crystal, and I've got some wonderful epidotes with quartz for tomorrow. Epidote clears the shit, okay? Any kind of low vibe, toxic emotion that you have or pattern that you have, it is a powerful cleanser of those negative vibrations, okay? So epidote is gorgeous and so powerful. This guy's 29. And then lastly, I'm just going to show you one more, lapis. Okay, lapis combines the intuitiveness of the brow center, the communication of the throat, and since it has pyrite in it, has the power of the third chakra within it. So it brings massive clarity and confidence on your path. And one of the things self-doubt does is it zaps you of your confidence. So this will help bring that clarity and confidence right back to you. Okay. Any questions, anybody, before we wrap this up? All right. Thank you so much for being here today, you guys. I'm really passionate about sharing how we move forward in this crazy world with our hearts and our spirits leading the way. And I'm actually developing a course right now for you guys about this, and it's called the Burnout Solution. How radical self-love is the secret to clearing the crap, moving forward authentically and powerfully in your life. Okay, something along those lines with the subtitle. But anyways, I'm so excited about sharing this with you. I'm going to be releasing it in December, but we're going to have the course starting in January, so you can have a fresh start of 2022. Doesn't that sound amazing? To clear the crap for 2022 so that you can really step into your fullness in 2022. Right? If you guys have questions about any of these crystals, about self-doubt, about how to use radical self-love as the key to clearing self-doubt, you just let me know, okay? I have another class for you guys on Monday, so make sure that you're here for that. Monday's class is about facing challenges with fear or with love, because that's really where we're at right now. Most of the world is facing everything that we're going through with fear, and that is just a very disempowering way to live. So we want to be able to face it with love. And it's extraordinarily empowering. And again, I'm going to have some fun crystals for you guys. We're just going to do this where we have a fun mini class on Mondays. And then on Wednesdays, we're going to do over on Instagram a live class with the crystals and with being able to purchase them if you're interested in that. Okay. So much love to you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for your presence. Mwah. I will talk to you all very soon.